Today guys, we're talking about a club that is ranked #1. It is a tailor-made club. It's not only been #1 for this year, but it has for the previous 2 years from the My Golf Spy rankings. Again, a thorough testing system. You'll see that we've talked about that on Talking Balls, how they go through a vigorous testing system to see which is the best. And we are talking today about these MG4s and what they could do for you. We've also got a special guest behind the camera as we speak, who's been using these for a long time. So again, a wedge, when you start to think tailor-made, you don't always think wedges. You often think the Stealth 2, you often think the P770s. You don't go straight away into that short game. You may even go a Spider before you think wedges, but these wedges have been ranked #1 for performance as well as looks, but we're going to talk through that now whilst we play a couple of shots. Again, one big thing they have done with these wedges, they have got the raw finish, as you will see on screen there now, and that is to get a little bit more spin off these, and that's going to help us get that little bit more bite around the green. If we make a nice contact with these, we're going to be able to get that spin in just like that one there off a nice tight lie. Again, they have changed the shape a little bit going through the years. Yes, it's been 3 years that it has been #1, but they have made it a little bit rounder, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, and that's something that you want down there. You don't want something that looks too chunky. You want something that looks good on the eye, but then also performs, and that's why it is ranked so highly on those rankings. See there, we can get that launching low, having a little bit of release there. So one big thing that they've said, and this is why we're doing this in winter conditions, I mean we don't really have an option, but we're in the winter conditions. They are saying that obviously they've got new etching on the face to get moisture away from that face when you are playing shots. So even out of a wet lie, even out of thicker grass, we should still be able to get a little bit more control than the previous models, and that's what exactly you want in the winter. You want a wedge that's still going to have a little bit of a spin. We can then be confident around the greens, and that's all we want for a golf club after all. But let's get the guy who's been using them for the last couple of months to talk us through why he's using them, not using Vokeys, not using Pings, not using Mizunos, and not using PXGs. Let's get him in. So in is the special guest, Mr. Cameraman today. Right, we are talking these wedges, James. You've been using them for a while now.
I've really enjoyed them, and I've taken these all over the world with me. These wedges came to Korea, they came to America, they've been pretty much everywhere, and what I like about them is the versatility that they have. And I mean, a lot of people randomly on my channel think I get paid to use golf clubs, which I don't. I put in my bag what I want to use, what I feel like's best for me. And you mentioned earlier about the raw face. Now the raw face is designed to get more spin. Realistically, that doesn't really happen, but it does reduce the glare massively. So say like today, we've got a really sunny day, you don't see that glare over the ball, which is really nice. You don't necessarily want that. And I've always been a Vokey kind of guy, to be honest, but these have just kind of set apart a little bit. I really enjoyed the previous mill grind wedges, and these are just kind of a nice continuation of that with the different weighting on top here. So even here, off a bit of a tight lie over a bunker, I don't mind just playing nice, neat shots. Like, I never feel like I'm going to play something with huge artistry, but I never feel like I'm really going to put a step wrong. And I was really conscious there that, as I said, I wasn't going to put a step wrong, I would probably have duffed it into that bunker. But there's loads of different grind options, loads of different bounce options, more so than what I can remember. I tried to remember them for a review that I did and just completely forgot most of them. But this is a standard bounce, and it's 12 degrees, so plenty on here for a 56 degree. I've got the 60 as well actually, but for me you really don't need it, because you can just start to play really nice shots like that one, be quite attacking, come back down that slope then. I stayed there that time. But a really nice set of wedges. That's why I've used them. Versatility, the looks, I mean, they're quite expensive. That's one thing I'd probably say. I think you look at wedges, maybe like the Kirkland wedges or the 11 wedges, which are a bit more affordable. You don't get the milling, you don't get the quality, you don't get even the same kind of metal. But for me, a really good set of wedges, and I've played 3 out of 4, they're not bad, so we'll take that.
So one big thing James mentioned there is we do have some progressive weighting on there, which is to control the CG, and that is obviously to help you with ball flight. So when we go into a 52, for example, you might be using that for more of a pitch shot, trying to flight it low and not getting a ball popping up in the air. And you'll see that throughout the wedges. You'll see that obviously with other brands. That's something they've done to work on ball flight, because you'll see the top players in the world will be sending it a lot more direct, whereas a lot of amateurs will send it straight up. They'll probably use the highest nice lofted, they will have a 60, they'll send it nice and high and hope it is going to land soft. Again, you'll see on the bottom of this wedge we do have a milled sole. So a milled sole there again is just to help with turf interaction, to help you get through the ground a little bit better, stop any kind of deviation, to get you starting that ball exactly where you want it. So a lot of technology, a lot of things in here to get you the wedges that are going to perform the best. But the big thing James covered there, and what we do here on the Everyday Golfer, is talk price. Obviously these wedges are coming in at £159, so quite expensive to say the least. And in a couple of weeks time I am going to be testing some of the cheaper ones against these kind of wedges and getting some numbers and seeing side to side for me how it affects spin and how it affects control. And then for you, obviously, it'll give you a big insight to, do you need to spend £159? I know these wedges are fantastic, but for a full set of wedges, you're going to see that that is going to cost you nearly £500, which is a lot of money. Would you be better off investing that money in lessons? Would you be better investing that in some new irons? What is going to help you get your best golf game? So, like we said with James, there is a lot of options here. You can see the different grinds will relate to how you want to sit that club on the ground. Are you somebody who wants to have the club face open at address? Do you like to have it open, play some higher shots? Are you somebody who likes to close it down a little bit to get it running out? Or are you somebody who just likes to have it square? You'll see on the screen there a nice big menu, I was looking for the word there, a smorgasbord of grinds, and you'll also see there is a huge amount of different lofts and different bounce options in this. And this is where, for me, even with wedges, it is essential to be getting fitted for these. Find somewhere where you can go and get them fitted, because you need something that fits in with your current set. You need something that the pitching wedge then goes into your gap wedge. Is it a 50, is it a 52, or have you got stronger lofted ones and you maybe need a 48 degree? Again, are you playing links golf, or are you playing heathland courses, or are you playing parkland courses like Woolley Park here? You might need a total different bounce because of the kind of conditions on the ground. If it's firm, you might need less bounce. If it is soft like it is here, we might go for something with a little bit more bounce. And that's also dependent on obviously your technique. And this is where, again, for me, you could buy some wedges for the best part of £500, but if your technique is different every single time, we are not going to see any consistency. So you could get the right bounce for your golf course, you could get the perfect wedge, $159.99, but if you don't know how to control your short game, how to control your release, it's going to be very difficult. But guys, comment below, what wedges do you want to see these compared to? We've got such wedges as the Tacoma Skyforger wedges, we've got some Kirkland wedges, we've got some Inesis wedges, all that are a lower budget. But comment, is there any ones that you specifically want to test against these MG4? Again, the #1 ranked wedge by My Golf Spy for the last 3 years in a row. Very interesting there for TaylorMade to be that high up in this part of the game, because it's a part of the game you probably didn't think about when you thought TaylorMade.